of AJC Magic TV. Just welcoming you in. Be with you shortly. I just need to move the camera back. It's a little closer than I wanted it to be. So we'll move it back. Just welcome you in. Just chatting. I decided to go live. I'm sorry about that. Usually Fridays and Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I have something that usually takes me till about 5:45. And today I was running a little late there, but I actually got done a little bit faster than I thought I would. So just kind of chatting. I do have some trivia questions if more people join in the chat. But I was just curious what, I know a lot of you watched the live stream, some of you even live streamed it, but I was just wondering what people thought of the Boo Bash. Also, welcome in Catherine Wilby, thank you for joining. And I was curious what people thought of the Boo Bash, because I know I watched a bunch of streams. I watched Mouse Talk and kind of switched between Magical News Live, Samantha Lowe, LBV TV, and Resort TV 1, Mouse Talk, and Florida Parks. So welcome in to Our Dreams, Angela. Welcome in. So I was curious, and I know my thoughts was it seemed like almost, I know it's after hours, and you know the hours are shorter, but welcome in Brittany Mogan. Thank you for joining. I thought it felt like almost a party, except it was a couple hours shorter than the actual parties, and they did do the fireworks for everyone that was in the park at 8:45, and then everyone had to exit if you weren't part of the party, and also it seemed like maybe you got better snacks because you were able to get all you can eat ice cream, popcorn, and drinks as long as the supplies last, plus trick-or-treating. So, and I don't know, to me the cavalcades were just mini parts of the parade, except they didn't do where the pirates or the grave, there was a couple grave diggers in the one scene it looked like, but they didn't really do the full blast grave diggers or the pirate scene where they bring out the pirate ship and the pirates are dancing around and everything, but they did do more of the villains. And of course, like Maleficent came out. I know in some parts of the park she did blow out fire, and then a couple times when I seen people trying to stream waiting for the fire to come out, it never did. So I don't know, maybe just certain areas that the fire came out. Welcome in Disney Nerd Herders, probably Stacy. Hello Stacy and Charlie. Catherine Wilby, Angela, This Our Dreams, or Jeff. So what are your thoughts? Yeah, I'm sure some of you have. Okay, hello Russ, thank you for joining. I'm sure we know a lot of you probably watch at least some stream, whether you watched an hour or two. It was kind of weird seeing people go into the parks early, and then the actual party or the after hours didn't start till 9:30, but it was kind of nice that if you welcome in Kathy and Randy, I just started a few moments ago. Welcome in Marguerite, Niggy, thank you for joining. But that was the only thing that seemed kind of weird, but it was kind of nice that if you were a day guest, you didn't have to leave at 6 o'clock like the, yes, I did hear that, Angela, too, because Resort TV 1 ran into Nick's parents, and his mom had said, did you see that they they opened up ticket sales? And I just wonder if Disney holds that back in case there are some people last minute. Welcome in Tea Time Mary Ellen, or if they really can't because they're at capacity, like on a day like Halloween and everything. We watched a bit of everyone last night. Yeah, that's basically what I did, Charlie and Stacy. I kind of flipped through. I started watching Walt, and yeah, that was pretty cool because he was with his friends there in the park. I watched your vlog, so don't forget to watch This Our Dreams. And one of the things that was really cool too is they did restock some of the Halloween merchandise. I did see a lot of the dolls for the three witches from Hocus Pocus, the Sanderson sisters. Personally, I would love to go, but That's because lines were super short. Yeah, I can understand that. I think, hello, Bill's Fishing Adventures. Thank you for joining, and Francisco. Yeah, that's good. Um, yeah, I was glad to see, and when I saw your one picture, I was like, oh, Zach must have had a ticket to the party, and then I did hear that they had opened it up, which is probably kind of promising for a couple people that maybe their friends are going and the party's sold out, and if they actually do that for some of the parties, it probably doesn't hurt to go ask at the guest services or whatever. I'm not sure what time of the day they opened it up, but some people said it was like 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. So I'm not sure what time you guys got to the park. And then they did finally have a sold out sign later. Boo to you, Hitchhiking Bones. I need to watch your replay. I was kind of ninja watching in between watching all the Boo Bash things, because everyone was doing different things. Some people did a mixture of rides and trick-or-treating and going to see the characters. Others, they were concentrating on the characters and trick-or-treating and watching the cavalcades and no rides. And some didn't trick-or-treat because they're not really candy eaters and stuff. I'm not sure how many snacks some people got, but I did see some pictures of people taking home that lived in the area that took home Mickey ice cream bars. That's why I was wondering, does Zach bring you guys any Mickey ice cream bars or ice cream sandwiches? But there was a lot of coverage there. And of course, we all knew that if you are a live streamer in Orlando, you were pretty much there tonight, or you'll be there next week on Tuesday, because those are the first two and everything like that. Yeah, Zach really should have loaded up on more candy. Yes. Aloha, Elena. Thank you for joining. But I was just wondering what other people thought about it. You know, not just a little bit of candy for 100. Yeah. He should have grabbed the, I saw a couple people had the ice cream bars and they put ice packs in their backpacks and everything. Zach isn't one to share food in my experience. Yeah, it's true. Put a little ice pack in your backpack and load up on the ice cream sandwiches and Mickey bars. But to me, I thought, yeah, I did that on one of the after hours. I did it around when Miles Talk did it back in 2019. I went to two different, welcome in Penguin Master. I did two different after hours because the first experience, there was nobody in the park. And I know there was at one point, I was like in Frontierland with maybe 5 other people. And I loaded up on the water and took it back to my room. Most of the beverages, and then any water I had left over, I gave it to my niece to take to her apartment and stuff. So whenever I had seen her during that trip, and I had some Sprites, and then I did get some popcorn, and of course I ate my way through a couple Mickey bars here or there. But and I know during that after hours they didn't mind you having it. Like if you were just getting on like Peter Pan or something, the guy let us eat them on the ride, even though they really don't want you to do that. But yeah, I would probably be loading up on that for the prices of the Boo Bash. It looked like to me a dumbed down party in a sense. I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to have the full parade because that's pretty exciting, and the fireworks, the special fireworks. But I thought it was really nice though that they allowed the regular people in the park till after the fireworks, and you could see them really roping off the areas and telling people to move along to Main Street. I'm not sure how long they allowed you on Main Street, but I guess if you snuck into the Emporium and stuff and shopped. But that, I was surprised to see that they did have some of the Spirit jerseys that they were sold out of when some of the people went Monday night into the parks, and a lot of that stuff was gone. But I did see smaller sizes. But it looked really cool. I wish I would be going, but most of the dates, unless I check, are sold out from whenever I plan to go. I will tell you, getting out was rough at around 9:30. I'm sure that was Angela, because Yeah, a lot of people had said that, and then I think something happened with one of the monorails, maybe. I don't know how true that was, but I was reading Facebook comments of people saying that the one of the monorails was not was having problems or something, and they wish that they would have had like a bus to the ticket and transportation center, like they usually did have a bus, the ferry boat and the monorail, but I guess they stopped the bus since they kind of lifted some of the different things. Yes, maybe the monorail, it was super backed up, yes. And of course, you know, you are going to have that after the fireworks and they're sweeping everybody out of the park. So the people, I can remember the one after hours event in 2019. It was around when Galaxy's Edge opened up. I remember standing on Main Street almost through that whole event that year. But we were up on Main Street and they didn't really like say, hey, get moving or anything. But I can remember kind of standing around talking to some of the people that I met, like our Disney Adventure crew and Touring the Galaxy, and I believe Myers and the Mouse was in that group. And then I remember Walt and Melissa coming out because they were at the after hours event, and Tanya and a bunch of people. Yes, we probably could have stayed longer, but Abby had to get up early for school. Yeah, the school started in the southern states. Do they do fireworks? Yes, they did it at 8:45, Russ. They did firework happily ever after at 8:45, and mostly a lot of the people that started their streams were there earlier and did the fireworks with that. I know Walt and Melissa were in Fantasyland and they had a nice, good, different perspective of the fireworks. I've seen different people do that from there, and then I've seen other people do it from Tomorrowland, and then of course different places around Main Street. Welcome in, James Ryan. Thank you for joining. But that's just my thoughts. I'll be curious. I know if any of you are looking for the welcome in, Mary, if you're going to be looking for the Christmas bash or whatever they're calling it, they're actually supposedly going on sale here sometime this month. I did hear that on a couple of different streams from people saying, look out, that are travel agents that were saying that they're going to be releasing those dates and everything soon, later this month. So keep an eye out on it if you're looking to go to the Christmas one. I'm curious to see what the prices will be. Yes, when will those go on sale? I grabbed a room for that night. I'm not sure, but I do know that they're going on sale later this month, so keep an eye out. And it sounded like it was going to be soon that they were going to drop that from the travel agent that was on a stream with another streamer. So yeah, I will let you know, because I know, and I know there's a few people that if they're down there whenever they're there in November, and there's ones that are curious to what the prices are and will probably end up going or not. I guess it would just depend on like what the prices and everything, and if everyone in your family really would go or not. But yeah, I'll let you know whenever they go on sale. I think maybe they open to DVC room reservations first. Yeah, they could. I'm not sure though. But from one of the travel agents, they said that they're going to get released sometime later, probably in a week or two. Because it's almost the end of the month, or we're like in the middle of August already. Time is flying. Ugh. Yeah, but we can do some trivia, and I do have some Disney trivia if you guys want to do that. I might try to go to a Christmas party this year if I can swing it. Yeah, if I get a chance to get down there around that time, I probably would try and go to it. Um, yes, time is sure flying. Yes. Yeah, that would be fun, Russ. Um, but I'm not sure if I'll get down in December or not. Welcome in, Amanda from Magic for Four. Hope you guys are doing well. But but yeah, I've been to the after hours, and I believe Walt and Melissa seem to have a good time, and he, if you watch their vlog, he showed some of the wait times of the rides, and there were a few people, like I read different things on Facebook of their opinions. Some really enjoyed it, some really thought it wasn't their value and everything like that. Looking lovely. Yes, it's actually unbelievable because about an hour ago there was a big giant storm that moved in Pennsylvania. At least my area of Pennsylvania, it's becoming like a Florida where all of a sudden in the mid-afternoon a thunderstorm comes rolling through, and depending on where you live, it has done some pretty bad damage with trees and different things, and other places you may not get it. Because I know on Sunday I was in a different part of Pittsburgh in the North Hills, and it rained in the South Hills, and I know it wasn't raining in the North Hills because I was in and out of the stores up in the Ross Park area of Pittsburgh, the North Hills. Welcome in, Kelly of Hands Full Heartful. Brittany Mogan, the type of candy, the Halloween candy they give out is the Mars M&M. Now, we don't know what they'll do for Christmas, because I know for the Merry Very Christmas parties, they gave out cookies and free cocoa, and then some of them, the one year they had like little snowman pretzels, and they had strawberry Fanta or grape Fanta or something at some of the different stops. So it all depends. We won't know till they put out the details of what they may have for snacks, but they had prepackaged cookies. Welcome in, Dave of Adventures by D. So that's the only thing I know for the Christmas parties. Like I said, they had pre-packaged cookies. I know years ago when they first started doing Christmas parties, you would go and they'd have cookies already open, and they would hand you a sugar cookie and the hot cocoa. But then they offered other events. I remember getting a picture with Santa, and you got that free as part of your Christmas party, like favor type of thing. I don't know if anybody else ever went to any of the Christmas parties when they first brought them out, but I remember where you could go get your picture with Santa, and they sent you the picture later on, and stuff. Now, you get your pictures with your if you have the photo pass and everything. Welcome in, Paul Engel. Thank you for joining. So it'll be interesting to see what they offer. I mean, I know you probably will, since it's an after hours. They'll have the ice cream, the popcorn, and the beverages, the water, Coke, and Diet Coke, and probably Sprite or whatever they carry at the carts. So that'll be included most likely in the price for that, since it's an after hours event. Because I know the normal after hours events. Okay, Russ, have a great evening and have fun with the animals or the sea life. You make me jealous seeing those little pictures of the otters and stuff like that, and the dolphins and things. That's the one place I love to go to someday, is the Discovery Cove and everything. So that'll be on my list. Sometimes I know a few people that have gone there and really enjoyed the afternoon and everything. And if you look around, sometimes they do have specials, and look at the different packages, because I know one year we were going to go and you actually got 7 days worth of SeaWorld admission if you wanted to go there afterwards. So that was included, or you could add on Busch Gardens with that also. So you just have to check out the different pictures and stuff like that. But yeah, you'll get the soda, ice cream, and popcorn. We'll talk about you visiting. I get discounts. Okay. I know when my niece worked for Busch Gardens, since Busch Gardens is part of that family, she worked at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and she still got to carry the SeaWorld discount and the Discovery Cove discount for like a whole year afterwards, and that's how they got to go. I wasn't able to go at that time for that trip, but they really enjoyed that. And I do enjoy going to SeaWorld every once in a while to look around and ride their coasters and stuff like that too. So we'll go ahead and unless you have some other questions or want to talk about Disney, I can go ahead. Halloween plans, Amy, more parks, Orlando. I've been, it all depends. I may be getting down to Orlando. If not, I'm definitely going for the 50th anniversary time. And after I found out that the Remy thing, I thought it was totally sold out, and I had seen a link on Facebook, but I wish I would have went in there sooner after I had found out that the Ratatouille was dropped, because I didn't get the message or whatever. So I thought, oh, mid-afternoon, so later on. But I did get a reservation for the pass holder preview during that week before it officially opens. So now I'll be probably adding that day on to my trip. Well, of course I will be, because that'll lead me into the 50th anniversary. So that'll be my September into October. I'm not sure how long I'll stay after the actual anniversary, and since I'll have to come in a day earlier for the Ratatouille preview. But I'm kind of glad I got it. I know cast members are going later this month, after talking to a couple cast members and stuff like that. But yeah, I can't wait to ride the Ratatouille ride. It's pretty much the same, almost the same as the one in Paris, I believe, and it's pretty cute too. Yeah, I also want to try to get the rest before I have to renew in November on my annual pass. Like I'm like everybody else, what's going to happen when it's time to renew, or do I try and sneak in and try to renew it early and see if I can renew it early, or wait and see what the new benefits will be? Because I'm curious, because the way they have it set up for Disneyland, I'm wondering if they're going to try to do something tiered like that, and you can get whatever pass, whether you live in state or out of state, and maybe the out of state or in state people will just get a discount off of whatever tier they get. But it looks like less benefits when you go with the lesser tiers and everything. Good evening, Timothy Rainwaters. But after listening to a few people talking about the Disneyland one, if you're living close to the parks, you're probably going to be better off with the higher one, so you get the free parking, because a lot of people were talking about they were going to get the second tier because they go only once or twice to Disneyland. But when you figured in the parking for those once or twice plus whatever a month, it was worth just going and getting the one with the free parking price wise. So yeah, I'm not sure, Jeff or Angela, whether they'll change it like that, because there are different dynamics. If you're a DVC member, whether you were in state or out of state, you were able to get the gold pass or a discount on your platinum pass, or people that were in state, you could buy those, the silver and the whatever other one, the gold, silver, and the platinum. It's Angela still. Oh, okay, no problem. Just making sure. But that's the only thing that I'm curious about, what the dynamics will be, because gold members right now, you get the free parking also, plus You know, is PhotoPass still going to be part of that? Or if you only buy the top tier, you're going to get PhotoPass and maybe you'll get more park reservations. Or because that's what it looked like for Disneyland, but they didn't throw in the PhotoPass and something else that they got at in Disneyland if you had the upper tier with that. So that's what I'm curious about, whether or not, yeah, that's the whole thing I'm curious about. Are they going to just change it to tiers, and then the people who live in Florida, they'll get some sort of discount for Florida residents, or they and out of state could buy whatever? Because say you're an out of state person, you know you don't go at Christmas and Easter time. Maybe the next tier down with half off price parking or something, but you might not need the parking, but unless you're staying off site, then you know, depending on how many days of the week you're going to be there too. Because I know as an annual pass holder, it's sometimes beneficial that if I could stay off site and rent the car, I get the free parking in the park and walk in. Welcome in, Purple Tube. Thank you for joining today. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I know they keep saying they'll bring out something by October 1st or the 50th anniversary. So we'll see. Yeah, Adventures by D. I was hoping to go into Hershey Park when I got out there, but they close early on the weekdays, like at 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. on the weekends. And sometimes I think they might go a little later, but I decided not to go into the parks. And since it was still early in the day, it was only about a 3.5 hour drive for me to drive back to Pittsburgh. So I drove back that night. I just couldn't see staying because I knew I wasn't going to go to the park the next day anyway. And I do enjoy Hershey Park if you're ever out that way, or anybody that you know, is ever thinking that they're from out of state or in New Jersey or Maryland. Oh yes, I'll be going out to Kennywood again also, because that's my local park here, and they're doing the fall fantasy parades, and so I'll be probably doing a couple more of the parades for a few people. I do have some friends that some of our youth from my church are in marching bands, and so I'll probably go out then. And then I know the University of Pittsburgh is going to be on one of their last nights out there, so I definitely want to try to get out there for that. The only thing this year is Kennywood doesn't stay open that late either on the weekdays, so they start at the parades at 6 p.m. So it just depends on what day. I have to double check the days if I'll be able to get out there or not. I would like to come up and do a Penn Park swing like Nate did. Yes, Adventures by D. The one park I've been wanting to go to that Nate shows a lot is Knoebels Park or Nobles Park, and it's kind of like in that north central dead space area of Pennsylvania. But it's a nice park from what I've seen, and if you go during the weekdays, you can buy a one price band, but on the weekends, I think they make you pay per whatever rides you get. I keep looking at their website to see if they what it entails, but it would be cheaper if you can go during the weekday than on the weekends, unless you're only going to pick and choose certain rides like the coasters that they have there. And then they charge extra for a Haunted Mansion ride. And then he did go down to Lancaster to the Dutch Wonderland. I went there a long time ago, and then when I seen him showing that looked really neat. And I was hoping to do that whenever I went out there this past time. I was going to stay the whole weekend, but then some things changed for me that I needed to come back. But that was something to try to do, is go there. I've been out to Dorney Park before. And that's fairly nice there. I've never been into New Jersey with the Great America Six Flags, but I do have family members that have gone there, and they really enjoyed it. And then they went on to the Jersey Shore to Seaside Heights and everything. Welcome in, Purple Tube, and Elena and Megan G. Thank you for joining. But yeah, I really would love to get down to Dollywood sometime. I know it's like all these trips and things. It's just finding the time to to get down there and see who and drive down there because it would still be a pretty fairly 8 hour drive, I believe, down to the Dollywood area from here. But I haven't really mapped it out to really see. But I'd like to try to go there. That looks really neat. I haven't been to Cedar Point in a while, so that would be something. Yeah, I know I probably would. I enjoyed like your videos, and I've seen some other, and I've had family members go to Dollywood before, and I've been to Gatlinburg for a tour one time. I was on a tour of the Blue Ridge Parkway, and then we went up through Shenandoah National Park. So we did the Skyline Drive also because it was from Gatlinburg all the way up to Winchester, Virginia on a bus tour. And that was really neat. We didn't get to go to Dollywood because we did Gatlinburg and everything. But yeah, one of these days I hope to get to Dollywood. I used to have friends that were part of the they're part of the American Coasters, and they had invited me to go with them one time to their coaster event at Dollywood, and I kind of wish I would have went because they said that Dolly Parton had come out and she talked to everyone, and they really gave some really great treats and everything like that too. Welcome in, Cricket Fox. Good morning or good evening. Probably good morning, because it's about going on 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in Pennsylvania. So she's known to go there, and I haven't been down to Williamsburg in a while. It's 8:15 Thursday morning, so you're in the future, Cricket Fox. That's cool. Dollywood is a lot of fun, yes, and the Smoky Mountains are really nice, and that's one of the most visited places in America is the Great Smoky Mountains. For a lot of different reasons there, but it's a really nice place to visit if you ever get a chance to go there. Welcome in, Stacy, Disney Nerd Herders. Yeah, I went to Kings Island a couple years ago, Cedar Point. Now I have not been to Carowinds, and I do have family members that live down in that area, and they have, and I've seen Road Trip Dave and stuff. And that's kind of like another one that I almost had a chance to go, that I was going to go with the American Coaster people at one time, but my schedule, I couldn't get off at that time to go with them. But that looks pretty fun. I have cousins that have gone there, and I've seen their pictures and stuff, and that looks pretty fun there. But I've been to most of Cedar Point, Kings Island, Hershey Park, Waldemere Park. That's a smaller park in Erie, Pennsylvania. Oh, okay. And then there's Del Grosso's Park. Welcome in, Joyous. Thank you for joining. There's Del Grosso's Park in Altoona, Pennsylvania. It's a little bit north of Altoona, called Tipton, PA. Yeah, Silver Dollar City in Branson. I know that they're a group of the like RV people and Griswold Family Vacay and some travel agents. They're actually doing a meetup in Branson, Missouri, and they're going to be going to Silver Dollar City. And I know, watching the Griswold Family Vacay, Danny and his family at Silver Dollar City, that looks really nice. For me, I would have to actually fly there because it's a longer drive to get over to that area. But I would love to go there before. Ah, that's cool, Cricket Fox. That is your home state of Ohio, yes. Yes, the Branson meetup. I've been really thinking about doing that, but I know I'd have to fly there once which wouldn't be too bad. I looked into possibly flying into St. Louis, but it's still a 4-hour drive down from St. Louis, which isn't too bad. But I know you can fly into Springfield, Missouri, and I think Branson itself. I would just have to check the prices, but at this point, probably the prices are pretty high for that. But that would be pretty fun. And really, the only thing I really would want to, well, I would look around and maybe a show, but definitely the Silver Dollar City and meet some different people there, like Blaine and Danny and Sherry and a few others that I know that are going there. Yeah, hopefully sometime a Hershey Park meetup because I know there's a lot of Pennsylvanians and there's a lot of Eastern Pennsylvanian people who watch YouTube and some that live like on the border by Gettysburg that would be an easy drive to go to. I know for me it's about a 3.5, maybe 4 hour drive depending on how the Pennsylvania Turnpike and the traffic is. Now, James, I was going to be one. I was a temporary one for a while, and because friends of mine had invited me to a couple of their events before, and they were pretty fun. I had a good time. Two of the events were here in Pennsylvania, and then they invited me in Pennsylvania. It wasn't by the American Coasters. It might have been a branch of them, but they did something in the wintertime where it was like a coaster fest type of thing, and they talked about what all the new parks and invited people from the parks. And Six Flags was there one year, and they gave away free annual passes in a packet that they were giving out to the American Coaster people. But it was called Coaster Fest or something, because in Pennsylvania there's like a couple different groups of them, but then they try to get together. At one time it was out in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and they got to go in behind the scenes at Hershey in the wintertime at some of their new coasters. And I always thought about joining, but I knew I couldn't get to some of the things. And although it would be fun on there, because they did have a European trip that we had looked at one time, and that would be, and that was really fun. I do agree, Stacy, that meetups are fun. I belong to another news type of Disney group, and years ago in the late 90s and the 2000s, and some of that group still meets in December, but they used to do some really cool meetups, especially out in the Harrisburg area. A couple of times they met up and did a meetup out in Mechanicsburg, and it was like a big convention, and they got people like Lou Mongello and the guy who does the touring plans. I can't think of his name right now, but if somebody said his name, and they were like conventions, kind of like a Comic-Con type of thing, but it was a Disney Con type of thing. And they brought in some different people who wrote the guidebooks and did some things. I know All Ears Net is owned by somebody else now, but I remember the original owners of allears.net. They used to help put together things down in Disney. And I know 2 years when I was down in Disney in December, because I would plan my trip around it, they called it Mouse Fest. And they held 1 year at the Dolphin Convention Center area. And then another time they did it at the Beach Club, Yacht and Beach Club Convention Center. And they had all kinds of different people there. And you mixed and mingled and met a lot of people. And I still keep in touch with the news group through Facebook. And they do the meetups every once in a while in December. And I've seen a lot of them mix into that. Yeah, Mouse Fest. I don't know if a lot of you, years ago, there was a book called The Passporter Guide. That since now is defunct, guidebook and everything, because they kind of broke up. But them and the All Ears people kind of coined the Mouse Fest, but they nobody can use that trademark for something like that. Because they pretty much, I believe, patent that thing. Unless somebody would start it up now, I don't know if they would come out of the woodwork and sue people to do that or not. But they would meet they would pick different weekends in December, depending on, because people could then use their annual passes, depending on when they bought them. They could get 2 trips out of 2 Mouse Fest or the meetups that they had, the Disney meetups that they had out of like each year. So they would alternate every other year. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was good for somebody like me who's been to the parks a lot, and I worked at the parks, because they would put together scavenger hunts in different areas of the Disney property. I know one time we did like the monorail resorts for a scavenger hunt. Another time they did one through Epcot. And okay, Stacy, yes, don't forget to check out the Disney Nerd Herders. They're going to be talking about moving to Florida with different friends. Pete just, okay. Yeah, I know. We just had storms go through here. It's really nice now and it feels kind of humid. But don't forget to check out the Disney Nerd Herders. They're going on at 7 p.m. They're going to be talking about moving to Florida. So they're going to have some different friends, probably the different friends who have moved to Florida or close to that. So go check them out at 7 p.m. Yeah, I'm going to just stay on for a little bit longer. I know at 8 p.m. D&G Explorers usually go. Wonderful World of Walter goes on. Monarch Moments is at 9 p.m. This and that goes on. But I'm trying to think if Monarch Moments was going to stream tonight or not. But I couldn't remember. I know they had talked about they might not be, but I can't remember now if they are or not. So go check all of them out. And remember Dean of the Live Place. He hosts our channel and many other channels that are either Disney-centric, travel agents, RVers. So go check out theliveplace.com. Okay, yes, I thought I remember them saying that they weren't going live this evening. They had different things. I know schools in different areas are going back to school. In my area, they're not going back till the 24th. And the city of Pittsburgh kids, they got delayed until September 8th. So that's a pretty big deal to that area because it's a big school district, and the parents were kind of left high and dry on that decision because of transportation and stuff like that. But that's for another time there. So that's good to hear. Okay, Cricket. I know for me, with the football, that Pete does a lot of the football streams. I know I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, but I grew up in Pittsburgh, so they're always going to be my team. Okay, the 23rd, yeah, the 24th around here, most of the schools are going back. Some might go back a little bit earlier, like the 21st. And then some kind of go later. But the suburb areas, most of them are like the 24th, 25th. And unfortunately, the Pittsburgh Public Schools, they were going to go back the 25th, but they're having problems with transportation and stuff. And it's a big school district and different things, so they're just having problems getting things going here. So those kids won't go back until after Labor Day. I know my Pittsburgh Steelers celebrated 4 people going into the Hall of Fame at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Pretty soon there's going to be, well, there's probably already a whole team of Steelers in the Hall of Fame there. And I know it's been a while since some of the players actually got in that really deserved to get in. And that game, I know it's only preseason. It really doesn't mean too much, just seeing what the players can do. And a lot of the big time players don't play yet. So it'll be interesting to see what their season does and what some other teams do. It looks like they'll have a tough schedule. Okay, when they go back is Labor Day, yeah. The only thing around there, though, like I have a nephew and niece. Bill Cowher is from my school, NC State Wolfpack. Yes, he actually grew up around here in Pittsburgh and Crafton, Pennsylvania, or Carnegie, PA, and he played football here. Anybody know if Pete has mentioned the baseball game being held tomorrow at the Field of Dreams? I believe he may have, Kathy and Randy, because I did hear somebody talking about that on another stream, but that was yesterday. I love my football. It's one of my connections home. Yes. I like college football also, and I also like high school football. They do produce a lot of good players in and around here in different teams, but they just have problems matching up teams where some teams are a little bit more power and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be true too there, Cricket, if he has power. But yeah, I did know he would mention that because a couple other people had mentioned that on another stream. Um, well, my favorite college team was always is always, and I know it's a controversial thing, but Penn State was always my favorite football team. Um, I know nowadays they're not looked upon as they're they struggled a little bit plus with all the scandal and all that stuff, but Penn State was always one of my favorite football teams. I do root for the University of Pittsburgh at times, but they disappoint a lot of times. They'll do good and then they just kind of fizzle. But I do root for them because I live in Pittsburgh and I worked at Heinz Field where they played. So, and I have friends who have gone to Pitt before, so I've gone there. They have done well to come back. Yes, that's true, Cricket Fox. They have. Um, you know, and it's fun to watch them. I always like watching the Michigan Penn State game. Hello, Carol Karki. Welcome in. So I'll watch Penn State. I do watch the University of Pittsburgh, but some of those other ones I'm not real big fans. A lot of times I enjoy watching Clemson. Um, so it just depends on. And if I know some of the players around here that have gone there, my Wolfpack beat Pittsburgh on the last second. Yes, I remember that, Kelly. They they'll start off strong in games and then they let the teams come back, kind of like the Steelers at times. The Steelers a lot of times don't put away these teams and they lose games that they shouldn't have lost, and they kind of fizzle. And sometimes Pitt does that too. But yeah, I do remember that your Wolfpack there. I'm a fan of Boise State. My editor used to work for them. Yeah, I love the bluegrass there, Cricket Fox. That was pretty neat to see that on the TV. Um, yeah, it just depends. My favorite basketball. I also like. I really like college basketball a lot, and for a while there, I knew some local talent that played for North Carolina, so I would go for them. But then a long time, I really liked Duke. It changes often, and everything. And I know for women's basketball, I really like UConn for women's basketball, and I also like the University of Tennessee. I really enjoyed watching them. I loved their coach. That when she was the coach, unfortunately she passed away, but they were one of my favorite teams also for women's basketball too. But I do root for Pitt every once in a while because since they're in my backyard, and I can go to those games every once in a while too. So, but that's pretty much the shop talk for today. I do enjoy everyone coming in and saying hello. I know the Disney Nerd Herders just went live, and so you'll want to go ahead and check that. North Carolina is our enemies. You're not allowed to pull for them. Yeah, that's the thing. You can't pull for North Carolina, be a Duke fan, and NC State fan there. So yeah, they all hate each other there. But when University of Pittsburgh would play them, I knew some players that played for North Carolina, and then I knew some players that were local that went to Duke and played for them also. So yeah, it just all depends. Like you said, you can't pull for them. But it's always fun watching March Madness and all of that too. So can't wait for all that to get back to regular play and stuff. I'm not a big NBA fan too much, although there were some teams that I rooted for. I did go see the Cleveland Cavaliers when, of course, LeBron James was there, and then of course he moved on for bigger and better things, but it's not really a big favorite of mine. I'm not I like seeing people work hard for their things. And, it's fun seeing the dunks and stuff like that. But I just like for the regular common stuff. But that's pretty much it. All I had today. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to go live because I do something right before here, and sometimes it takes me to 6 o'clock. But I was glad I got done early enough that I could do a live stream for all of you and for myself and stuff. So I do appreciate if you hit that thumbs up button if you're in the chat and you haven't already done so, or you're watching the replay. The most underrated school knocking off a top seed, yes. I always rooted for, I can't think of who they were, but they became pretty strong these days, and some of those younger teams. But yeah, I would, Gonzaga, I would root for, and there was another team that I always rooted for. And sometimes here in Pittsburgh, we'll get a first round March Madness game played here, so sometimes I can get tickets for that whenever they do that. So, but that's pretty much all I had for this evening. I do thank everyone for joining, and like I said, look out for some surprise streams. I'm not sure what I'll be doing this weekend and the coming week, but I know I'll be going out to Kennywood for some of the parades. I might hit up the Pittsburgh Zoo and possibly another museum, or I do want to go down to the Fort Pitt Museum at the Point in downtown Pittsburgh at some time to show you around there. So I do thank everyone. Have a great evening. Go check out the Disney Nerd Herders and everyone else in the chat. Everyone else who is live this evening or whatever. Yes, Cricket Fox, it was great catching up. So I do thank all of you. I do thank you for all the support. I hit 80,000 views, so that's a big milestone and everything. So have a great evening. Let the adventures begin. Bye, everyone, and see you in the chats.